Eres una estúpida. Sin mí te mueres de hambre. ¿Te callas o te parto la cara? Hi, everyone. I was born and raised in Guanajuato, Mexico. Woo! I knew that I was really, really poor because in my house, even if my mom was married, we were always alone. My dad was the typically norteño that crossed the border to come to work and send money to their family in Mexico. My mom worked really, really hard to give us what we need to eat. I don't remember myself dreaming in buying a toy. I don't remember myself when I was a kid trying to wear shoes because that was not an option for me. I remember myself and my mom and my two brothers fighting every single day to have what to eat that day. That's my childhood. But you know what? I was really, really happy because my mom is the stronger woman in the world. She's my role model. She's my everything. So that was my childhood, but that was not my main concern. My main concern was when my dad was coming home, when he was crossing the border back to Mexico, because my mom suffered domestic violence for 20 years. I remember those words every single time when my dad was at home. And I remember telling myself, since I remember, I'm never gonna let a guy tell me those words. I'm gonna work really, really hard and I'm gonna change my life. So the words that my mom always used with me was get educated, go to school, go to college. So that was my main goal the whole time. I never had boyfriends until my 22. And I'm not gonna say my age. But my main focus was school. Thanks God, thanks that my mom worked really, really hard. I was able to go to college, one of the best schools in Mexico, a private school. I had a scholarship my whole life. And then I was able to graduate as a journalist in Mexico too. Woo! Also, I was able to travel to so many countries, working really hard. In 2001, my mom came to the US as well with no documents, working 3 jobs, with no education, working in a laundry, cleaning parks, cleaning bathrooms, not speaking any English, but she was working so hard because I was in college. And my mom always told me, I don't want you to suffer the same things that I passed through because I was a victim of domestic violence. Until my mom crossed the border and she saw so many Latinas conquering their lives, she took the decision of change her life. And finally, she left my dad. By that time, I was living in Spain. I had the blessing to be in La Universidad Autónoma de Barcelona through scholarships as well. So I had always that on my mind. I went back to Mexico and I was working in Televisa in a new cast. And then I was just getting enough money to pay my rent. So guess what? I had to cross the border too. Being a licenciada in Mexico, I came in 2006 with a lot of dreams, no money on my pockets, with a visa, tourist visa. And I started working in landscaping. I started working painting houses. I started as a babysitter. But you know what? I had always my dream on my mind. And I always saw my mom working so hard that I knew one day I'm going to do something really, really big. Because I want to make my mom proud of me for everything that she did for me. Que tuvo una razón el por qué ella lo hizo. So it was really, really fun for me working in landscaping because I was working with my stepfather. He's so funny. He's from el DF. So you know, guys, how these people talk. So he was like, "Chale, mija." He used to listen to Piolín en la mañana. He was a big fan of Piolín en la mañana. He was like, "Chale, mija, ya le mandé un email y le escribí en Facebook, and one day you're gonna be working with that guy." Obviously in Spanish, right? So I was like, "Oh my God, I don't even like that type of radio. I'm not gonna do that." But still, he was like, He was pushing me so much, and my family really believed in me. There was a moment, I had to be honest with you guys. There was a moment when I was like, I'm just dreaming too much. I'm just gonna work really, really hard. So I met my ex-husband. I fell in love because like I told you, I never had boyfriends in Mexico. So I really fall in love with him. Then this is the hardest part in my life. And even now, I don't share a lot because it took me so many years to feel like I can't. I repeat the same story. I repeat the same story, even if I had those words in my mind for 23 years. I was in a domestic violence relationship too. Even if I was educated, even if I was traveling a lot around the world, even if I was so strong, I was repeating the same story like my mom. And I was so mad with myself because I promised myself to be different in that situation. He never hit me. He was not like a physical abuser, but he was a mental abuser with me. So I stayed in that relationship because I loved him and I wanted to change him. I wanted to make decisions for him. I want to help him. But you know what? I learned in a very bad way. You cannot change everybody. You cannot change everyone, even if you love them. The only person that you can change is yourself. I couldn't change my mom when my dad was yelling in that way. I told her so many times, Mom, you are beautiful. You deserve something better. You are amazing. But I could never change her. She had to take her own decision. I couldn't change my dad. And you know what? I don't judge my dad. I know that he loves us, but he loves us in that way. I don't judge him, and I understand him now. So when was the moment when I decided to change my life? There are so many details about my ex-husband that I can't even share with you guys. But my life was in risk. And I found out that I was pregnant. 2 days before, I talked to him and I told him, I'm going to leave. So he had a gun, puso balas en mi mano y me dijo, si te vas, me voy a matar. 2 días después, descubrí que estaba embarazada. And you know what's the reason why I left him? There is the reason. My beautiful son se llama Caleb Josué. Es un nombre bíblico y tiene un significado bien especial para mí su nombre. His name is Caleb Joshua. His name is on the Bible. And if you have a chance, please read it because it has an amazing message. So I left him because my son. Why? Because I grew up in a house full of domestic violence, and I know how that affects me, and I didn't want to affect my son in the same way how I was growing up. I wanted a healthy, like a mental healthy house for my son. So that's what I did it. And it took me so many years to get to feel better, but I did it. And I feel so proud of that because I changed. I made my own decision. I was not waiting for anybody to come to help me because I had to do it for myself. 2 months later, when I left my husband, I applied for CBS Radio. Remember I told you I was working in landscaping and restaurants and painting houses the whole time? 2 weeks later, I applied for CBS Radio, an amazing company where I've been working for the last 6 years. Six months later, working in promotions, putting stickers on the cars. You know what I'm talking about, right? 6 months later, I got the opportunity to be the co-host of the morning show Not with Piolín, but with Piolin's brother. His nickname is Showboy, or show was Showboy in the morning. He's an amazing guy. He guided me spiritually, and we were the number one Spanish morning show in Dallas Fort Worth for almost 5 years. And then now he just left Dallas. He's in New York. I told you he's now doing radio in New York. And I'm still in Dallas in the morning show. And now I'm doing original Mexican music. But the best part of it, I make it. I made it. I achieved my dreams professionally. I achieved my dreams personally. I break the cycle of domestic violence. My family now is really, really happy. My mom got married 6 months ago with this amazing guy from DF, que ya mi hijo habla, chale, mami, ¿cuándo regresas? He's 5 years old now. And not just that. During the morning show, we had to make people laugh. We had to inject energy to people. But also, I have a huge commitment with the community. I have a community show on Sundays. And I share information about domestic violence, health, immigration, education, and all that. I feel like God gave me the platform to help more people. And I want to tell you guys, all of you are storytellers. But use that magic, that gift that God gave you to help others. Why? Because thanks to people, thanks to our listeners, I have a job. And I'm doing what I love to do. But without that people, I'm not anyone professionally. So for 2 years, I've been doing campaigns against domestic violence in Dallas Fort Worth with the Dallas Police Department, the Fort Worth Police Department, con psicólogos, con abogados. And every time when I see a woman crying and telling me, Ana, tomé mi decisión, that's the reason why I do radio. And han sido varias. I remember one of them, we had a segment on the station that is called Pero no me agüito. That means all is good. There were some people calling. I remember one day was a guy who worked in construction, and he was like, oh, me acabo de cortar el dedo. Me corté el dedo hace unos días en el trabajo, pero no me agüito. That was the phrase. He was like, I scooped my finger at work, but all is good. So that was really, really funny, right? So I got this call from this lady, and she was like, oh, I have a great pero no me agüito for the show. So we put her on air, and she was like, I hear Ana in a domestic violence conference, and I just got divorced, but pero no me agüito. And I felt so bad. I was like, I don't want to be, getting people divorcing. I felt bad. That's not the point of it. So I told her, hey, don't hang up. Wait on the line. I want to talk to you because I don't want people thinking that I want to get everybody to get divorced. So and then I started talking to her, and she was like, Ana, this past Christmas, my husband tried to kill me in front of my kids. And she was like, and like a month before, I went to one of your conferences against domestic violence, and I knew what to do. So she decided on leaving her husband. And when she told me that, I was like, okay, I passed through all this, my mom too, but it's por algo. Está sirviendo de algo. So I'm really happy that now I'm in radio. Not with Piolín brother anymore because he left to New York. But I achieved my dreams, and I learned from all this. You cannot change anybody's mind, but you can change your mind to find your own happiness. And also, ningún sueño es imposible. Like I told you, I grew up with nothing, and now, thanks God, I don't like to say this word, but I'm a celebrity in Dallas. Thank you so much.